Welcome back, everyone. I am the Depressed Dior, and this is Arkham Horror, the card game. We're doing the Dream Eaters scenario, or campaign, sorry. And we're now doing Campaign B, which is the Web of Dreams. So I'm setting it to easy difficulty, as always. It has a -2, and then it has a bunch more symbols compared to the other bag. Starts with 2 skulls, a cultist, and 2 elder things, no tablets. All right, a lot to read here, so let's get to work. It has been 24 hours since your companions fell asleep. Over the course of the past day, your curiosity has slowly turned to concern and then dread. The problems began when one of your friends started to toss and turn violently in their sleep. You snapped to attention and tried to shake them awake, but it was to no avail. You tried everything. Physical contact was no use, and water did nothing but soak their clothes and bed fruitlessly. Even opening their eyelids did not wake them, and in the process, you noticed that their pupils had fully dilated and their eyes were glazed over with a milky white fog. You have no idea what this could mean for your friends. Have they managed to find their way to the land Virgil Gray described in his writings? Or is something more sinister taking root within their minds and bodies? Just to be safe, you decide to take your companions to St. Mary's Hospital. If something ails them physically, perhaps the doctors there can discern what is wrong. Otherwise, you will simply have to watch over them and hope that they return safely to the waking world. St. Mary's is the only hospital in the town of Arkham, and it is a fixture of its uptown neighborhood. You explain the situation to Nurse Grenberg, the head nurse at the hospital, who instructs several other nurses to carry your companions into the emergency ward on stretchers. She tells you with a warm, friendly smile that your friends will be examined by Dr. Maheswaran. But other than that, you are left entirely in the dark. Hours pass, you hear nothing about the status of your companions. You still have not met with Dr. Maheswaran, and you're starting to grow impatient. You feel something crawling along your arm, and you instinctively brush it away, then wonder if it was an insect or a figment of your imagination. You begin to question whether bringing your friends here was the right choice after all. Eventually, you decide to take matters into your own hands. It is late at night, and the receptionist who instructed you to stay in the waiting room is nowhere to be seen. In fact, there are eerily few people roaming the halls of the hospital. With nobody to stop you, you sneak off into the emergency ward to find your companions, or your friends, sorry. It does not take long for you to find their room. Your companions lie asleep on clean white cots. Their sleep anything but peaceful. They are pale-faced and sweaty. One of them tosses and turns in their sleep, their brow furrowed with pain or worry. Dr. Maheswaran does not seem surprised by your intrusion. Shivani Maheswaran, she introduces herself coldly without looking up from her clipboard. You're the ones who brought them in, right? Before you ask, no, I have never seen anything like this before in my life, she says with a hint of dry impatience. You demand that she tell you everything she knows about their condition and not give you the runaround. With a sigh, she puts her clipboard down and addresses you frankly. Listen, I may be new to Arkham, but I have seen enough inexplicable maladies in this town to fill an entire careers in medicine. I understand why you're concerned. Your friends, she struggles to find the right words, they're simply not asleep. Or sorry, they are not simply asleep. It is as if they are hovering somewhere between sleep and unconsciousness, or even death. They are not aware of anything happening around them, but appear to be reacting to some kind of internal stimuli. Without hesitation, you ask if they are dreaming. Dreaming, Dr. Maheswaran replies. It is unlikely, though it might account for their mannerisms. Honestly, I know this is not exactly reassuring. None of this makes any sense to me, medically speaking. Just then you see a large hairy spider crawling on the chest of one of your friends. Well, that is odd. Dr. Maheswaran brushes the spider off, and several more emerge from the sheets to take its place. You and the doctor both take several steps back out of pure instinct. You hear heavy footsteps in the hallway outside the emergency ward, and then the lights begin to flicker. Okay, that is more than simply odd. What in the world is going on out there? Dr. Maheswaran asks anxiously. For just a moment, you think you hear one of your sleeping companions whisper something. Are they indeed dreaming? And if so, what does their condition have to do with these strange events? You have to choose one. Convince Dr. Maheswaran to come with you while you investigate for her safety and yours, or convince Dr. Maheswaran to stay with the patients and keep them safe while you investigate. I'm going to pick Intro 3. Yes, of course. Their safety is paramount. But do come back and tell me what is going on, please. She shivers. I hate this place after dark. You nod and venture back into the hospital's waiting room, recording the campaign log that Dr. Maheswaran stayed with her patients. All right. Oh, didn't spell it correctly. Sworn. Okay, got it. All right, as for the setup, let's see. Now, the key thing is the decision we just made is stayed with her patients, so Dr. Shivani Maraswaran is going to be set aside out of play. So we're just going to put her back in the box. We are going to be starting in the waiting room, which I have already placed. And then everything else, I think, let's see, set us, where is that out? Is that here? No. Okay, I think, it just says set aside, that's fine. Okay, everything else, I think we're good to go. All right, hopefully you guys are not scared of spiders. All right, before we begin, of course, we have a 20-card encounter deck, which is pretty small. Agenda 1A, Halls of St. Mary's. A heavy, ominous feeling haunts you as you explore St. Mary's Hospital. Its halls are eerily dark and empty of everything but the occasional orderly making the late-night rounds. Lights flicker, and shadows seem to dart from corner to corner. The hospital's maze of corridors has begun to take on an almost dreamlike haziness. You notice yet another spider crawling up your leg and brush it away, wondering what is causing them to appear so often. Only 2 doomed to advance, and this is a 3-agenda deck. And we have a 3-act deck over here. So, looking for answers. Something is wrong with your companions, and while medical science has come far, it can't account for what is happening to them. You've decided to take it upon yourself to figure out what is wrong and set things right. 8 clues to advance. For the tokens, skulls are -1, but -3 if you're engaged with a staff enemy. Cultist is reveal another token, and if it fails, if it's agenda 2 and 3, you'll make an infestation test, which we'll learn about that later. And then the elder thing is -X, where X is the number of infested locations. So right now it's -0. I'm just going to click this button again just for posterity. Yeah, looks to be right. All right, so let me put a break here and BRB. All right, let's do our opening mulligan. All right, Amanda Sharp. I'll try not to do too horribly with you. 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, starting with obscure studies already. Okay. Got an extensive research, a perception, a medical student. We don't really need the medical student right now. The Rika I'm good with. And let's go ahead and drop the extensive research for now. And draw 2 cards. Okay, mouse mask gain of practice makes perfect. Neat. Not too shabby. All right. So we got Stella Clark over here, so let's go ahead and get her cards taken care of. So she does have a 35-card deck because she does have 3 of her own exclusives. All right. Deal to orange. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Drawing thin right off the bat. Not bad. And a bunch of luckies. I'm going to drop the luckies for now. I'll keep the live and learn. Okay, meat cleaver. Good. At least we have a weapon. All right. And with that, let's go ahead and begin. Waiting room. St. Mary's. The hospital's waiting room is pleasant but boring, with several rows of benches and chairs. Nearby, a short bookshelf is filled with a variety of reading material, most of which you find dreadfully monotonous. All right, this location has 3 shroud, 2 clues. While waiting room is not infested, it gains resign. You flee the hospital, leaving your companions behind. In the corner of the window, silken webbing creeps along the glass, spun almost of its own accord. Was that there when you first arrived? All right. So first things first. At the start of the investigation phase, I have to draw a card, and then I have to commit a card, put a card underneath her, which I'm just going to put above her just to keep track of. For this round, how do we want to do this? So prophecy is not going to do too much right now. I'm going to go ahead and put perception. And that'll be the card she has beneath her. So right now she has +2 book, and every time she passes a test with this, she'll draw a card. All right, now we can begin. I'll start with Amanda. So I'm going to go ahead and spend an action to play Mouse Mask. And then my next two actions are just going to be investigating. So 4 to 3. I will go ahead and do a practice makes perfect. So I'll search the top 9. For a practice card, I find this deduction, so I'll pull that out. I mean, my other option is getting out the prophecy, but that's about it. All right. Shuffle. All right, so that puts us at 5 to 3. And we pass. So I get to draw a card because of perception. I'm going to get 2 clues because of deduction. And the deduction goes into my hand because we passed the test with practice makes perfect. Okay. And then for my last action, I am going to go ahead and play a Dream Diary and get that up and running. So the slots here are not exactly correct. I don't actually have multiple we don't have multiples of those, but that's okay. Anyway, so first things first, I'm going to spend an action to get out Drawing Thin. I'm going to spend 3. Do I need to do that now? I don't think so. Let's go ahead and spend an action and a move. I'll go to the records office. A plaque next to the door of this room reads records. Underneath that, another sign warns staff only. All right. For three actions, if you're not engaged with any enemies, one at a time, take 4 basic investigation actions. And this has 3 shroud and 4 clues on it. Victory 2. Shelves of folders line the walls of this room, and for some reason, they are completely waterlogged. You notice that the ceiling has partially collapsed due to mold and rot, and water drips from the ceiling onto the floor. Webs stick to your shoes with every step you take. All right, so that was my second action. I did change one of the tokens to a reaction, just so it's going to be easier for me to track this thing. Anyway, next I'm going to go ahead and investigate. So right now I'm 2 to 3. And I'm actually going to go ahead and use Drawing Thin to make it 5 to 3. Or sorry, 2 to 5, rather. And when I do this, I can either draw a card or gain 2 resources. I'm going to draw a card. Okay. So with that, that puts us at... We initiate a skill test, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I was just checking to see how that all was going to work. If I do neither rain nor snow, that'll put me at 5 to 5. And worst case scenario, I'll be at what, -2? Yeah, I'm just going to take it. So it'll probably fail. I'm right now 2 to 5. Yeah, so it fails. I go ahead and use my reaction ability to get another action. And then I'm going to take another investigate action. This time it's just going to be 2 to 3. So 2 to 3. +1. You may choose to also automatically fail the test, which I'm not. So I actually passed this test. And get 1 clue. Yay for teamwork. All right. That is first round done. Go to upkeep. There are no enemies right now. And I'm gonna search the top 8 real quick. Okay, I was just making sure it's I shuffled, which I did. Okay, upkeep and upkeep. Okay, now live and learn. I can live with that. Mythos, 1 of 2. Rotting Remains. Test 3 will. For each point you fail by, take 1 horror. A sickening display of gore. All right. I will go ahead and use a Offering from the Cat Mask, which will give me +2 will, so I'm at 4 to 3. I'm also going to go ahead and commit a Eureka, so 5 to 3. I do pass, so I'll search the top 3. I'll take the Laboratory Assistant. Yeah, I'll take the laboratory assistant. Okay. And then for you. Ah, yes, Whispers of Hypnos. Peril, Terror. Choose a skill. So any of the 4 basic skills. For the remainder of the round, each investigator gets -2 to the chosen skill. You cannot choose a skill that has already been chosen by a copy of this effect this round. No god or daemon could have aspired to discoveries and conquests like those which we planned in Whispers. So this is usually nicknamed Foot Bad because most people just pick agility. And that's going to be no different here. Foot Bad. Okay. With that, we'll start the investigation phase, which means I have to, I believe it is, draw 1 card, then discard the card that's beneath her, and then put another one beneath her. So, I'm just going to do extensive research. So it's going to be +2 book, but no special effects. All right. And then it goes to these people's actions. All right. So I'm going to start with Stella. I'm going to go ahead and do another drawing thin investigate here. So it's going to be 2 to 5. Is that 3 to 5? So yeah, I increased the difficulty. Oh yeah, also I need to actually draw a card too. Boop. So increase the difficulty by 2, so it's 5. I have 2 book, +1 is 3. So I fail it, but since I failed it by 2 or less while investigating, I will spend 2 clues, or spend 2 resources to do look what I found, and get 2 clues here anyway. Take that, game. Also, it's still a failed check, so I can go ahead and activate her reaction and get an action. All right, cool. That went as good as I could have wanted. All right. Let's go ahead and investigate again. This time it's going to be 2 to 3. Yeah, 2 to 3. I do fail. I'm going to go ahead and use a live and learn and investigate again. Now we're 4 to 3. And we pass. All right. Definitely a good start here. So I'm going to go ahead and move back. And then for my last action, I'm going to go ahead and get my cleaver out. I feel like we're going to need it in a second. Okay. Amanda. Let's go ahead and spin an action to get the Essence of Dream out. And then I'm going to spin an action to move. We'll go down here. Emergency room. You peek into the emergency ward and find several other rooms besides the one where your companions are being kept. While you're in the emergency room, each of your skill tests get +1 difficulty for each card committed to it. This room contains the aftermath of what must have been a gruesome admission. Splatters of dried blood cover the mattress in the center of the room, and medical supplies, bandages, gauze, syringes litter the floor. Victory 1. 2 clues, 2 shroud. And committing cards now actually makes things more difficult, which is funny because I have to commit at least 1 card. So, we're dealing with that right now. Okay. Since I did reveal a new location, I do get an offering back. Okay. So I am going to spend my last action to investigate. So the difficulty is going to go up by 1. So right now I'm 4 to 3 because of the extensive research. So 4 to 3. So I'm 4 to 3 right now. This will go 6 to 3. Yeah, 6 to 3, and this would be what, 8 to 3? 8 to 3. Yeah, so I'll commit an Essence of Dream. Or sorry, it'll be 8 to 4 at that point. If I do 8 to 4. Okay, I'm not going to do that then. I'm just going to do the the extensive research and a mouse mask. That'll make it 4, 6. It'll be 6 to 3. I could do a deduction as well. Let's go ahead and do a deduction as well. This will make it 7 to 4. So 7 to 4. All right, we do pass. We get both clues. That does eat up our deduction, but that's okay. But now we are at least done with this location, which is all the better. Okay, that is everybody. So far, the tempo has been really good. That scares me. So, there are no enemies. Goes to upkeep. Oh, also, we have enough to actually progress. So let's do that right now. Actually, do I want to do it right now? So I think progressing it right now will be bad from past knowledge. So I'm going to wait. All right. So that's the plan. I'll progress it when we actually have stuff in our hand. Okay. Enemy knows the enemies. Upkeep. All right. Upkeep. Promise of power. Nice. And upkeep. All right. Goes in our play area. So if I initiate a skill test that's difficulty 4 or higher, I'll take 1 damage. This is her exclusive weakness, so we'll probably just try to get rid of this as soon as possible. All right. Mythos. It advances. Unsettling developments. As you continue to explore the hospital, the oddities you have observed become more and more frequent. Thick, dark cobwebs now cover the corners of every room. Spiders crawl along the walls and the ceilings, emerging from seemingly nowhere and vanishing just as quickly. It's not just your imagination. An infestation of spiders is taking root within the hospital, and not just any spiders. They are larger than average, with long, jagged, barbed legs and great hairy abdomens. Perhaps even more worrying is the complete lack of hospital staff roaming the halls. Aside from several wary and frightened orderlies, you see no other staff members, not even any nurses or doctors. Where has everyone gone? Shuffle to set aside spiders and counter deck, and each set aside copy of Outbreak, along with the encounter discard pile. So we want spiders, Outbreak, that's it. And put that with all of this. And this is what, till end of turn? Yeah, so this is worn off. Okay. All right, and then draw the set aside infestation, begin story card, and resolve its text. I'm going to need this in a second, too. All right. Infestation begins. Place a 1 damage token on the location with the most clues. The 2 locations with the most clues if it's 3 or 4 investigators. All right, so we put a damage token out. We can decide because it's a 4-way tie here, so we're just going to put it up here. And for the remainder of the scenario, damage tokens on locations represents the spreading infestation. Each location with a damage token on it is an infested location. Create a separate bag consisting of the following tokens: skull, 4 tablets, and 2 cultists. And of course, we do have a bag for this, which is this one. So this is the infestation bag. This thing does auto shuffle. So just for FYI, if I did this, yeah. So it is completely shuffled. So it shuffles automatically. I am going to go ahead and hit shuffle 1 time though, just for posterity. Okay. These are not chaos tokens, so you cannot manipulate them with someone like Jacqueline. Some abilities will instruct players to make an infestation test. An infestation test may cause the infestation to spread to other locations or endanger investigators at infested locations. To resolve an infestation test, an investigator must reveal a random infestation token from the infestation bag and resolve the effects for that token as indicated on the other side of this card. Flip this card over and place it next to the scenario reference. I'm actually going to go ahead and put it down here so I can track it. So, skulls. Set this token aside and search the encounter deck for a discard pile for a spider enemy and spawn an infested location nearest to any investigator. Tablets is just set it aside, nothing happens. And then the cultists, you set it aside and choose a location connected to an infested location. That location becomes infested, so it spreads. Then if there are 2 or more cultists set aside, you essentially shuffle everything back into the bag. So you don't want to see cultists. That's generally the gist of it. All right, the infestation spreads. A monstrous presence has infested St. Mary's. It lies inside the walls and watches you from all sides. In mere minutes, it has spun thick, sticky webbing throughout each of the rooms you visit. The lights are either flickering or out across the hospital, and some of the more advanced medical machinery is broken and covered in cobwebs. Forced, at the end of the mythos phase, make an infestation test. And 6 doom to advance. All right, so I want to go ahead and shuffle this, and we need to take care of the rest of the mythos phase first. So encounter card. All right, rotting remains again. I am currently 2 to 3. Currently 2 to 3. I'll go ahead and use a mouse mask to make it 4 to 3. And I do pass. You may double. Okay, that doesn't help me. So I do pass, though, 4 to 3. Threads of Reality. Attached to a non-permanent, non-weakness asset you control with the highest printed cost. Otherwise, Threads of Reality gain surge. Treat attached asset as if its printed text box were blank. And then you can, as an action, discard an asset you control to discard Threads of Reality. So it has to be the highest printed cost, so it has to go on my meat cleaver. All right. So I might end up discarding my Drawing Thin just to get that back up and running. All right, then we do an infestation test. Okay, nothing happens. Investigation phase, this is, I draw a card first, and then I discard this. If after you draw, okay, this is not during my turn, so I don't trigger this effect, unfortunately. Okay. I am going to go ahead and put Essence of Dream. So now I have 4s in all my stats. And then, okay, we can now begin. Oh boy. All right. Let's go ahead and I'm going to start with Amanda Sharp. We're going to move. Actually, first, before we move, we'll go ahead and advance. All right. A promising lead. From hospital records and snippets of hushed conversation, you're able to glean that there was recently another patient in the hospital whose condition closely mirrored that of your friends. After being comatose for weeks, the patient abruptly and inexplicably awakened just this morning. Baffled, the doctors have quarantined the patient somewhere in the basement of the hospital below the eastern ward. Put the set-aside stairwell and basement door locations into play. All right. I'm going to hit shuffle first. There we go. So there's our locations there. Then check the current agenda. If it's 2 to 3, make an infestation test. Okay, we do spread the infestation. All right, and if it was agenda 1, it would have immediately advanced to agenda 2, which would actually speed the doom. So that's why I didn't want to do it. So the only thing doing it early does is save you an infestation, but it runs your clock out faster. All right, so next, search for the patient. You need to learn where this mysterious patient is being kept. If you can find them and speak with them, perhaps they can provide some answers about what is happening to your friends. If an investigator controls Randolph Carter, advance. Okay, so with that, I'm going to go ahead and start with Amanda Sharp. I'm going to go ahead and move. Experimental Therapies Ward. A sign over this hall reads Experimental Therapies. You're not sure what sorts of remedies the staff St. Mary's is experimenting with, and you're not sure you want to know. All right, so this location. When you investigate Experimental Therapies Ward, take 1 horror. Experimental Therapies will get -2 shroud for this investigation. This room is filled with beds, each one surrounded by a partition curtain. Each high-tech machines sit next to each bed, ready to administer all sorts of radical treatments. 2 victory, 4 shroud, 4 clues. Since I revealed the location, I do get an offering back on Mouse Mask. All right, as for my remaining actions, I'm going to go ahead and investigate. I'm going to commit a cryptic writings. So I'm going to be 6 to 4. I'm not going to take the horror here. So 6 to 4. Actually, I will take. Yes. Yes, I will take the horror. So instead, we're going to be 6 to 2. 6 to 2. So that would be. Yeah, 6 to 2. and I will use a mouse mask. So that'll be 8-2. Okay, I do pass, and now I can say that I have interpreted the dreams. All right, dream so interpretina. All right. I also get a clue here. I'm going to go ahead and spend my last action to play Laboratory Assistant. My hand size increases, and I draw 2 cards. 1 and 2. Okie dokie. All right. Stella. Let's go ahead and move you down. And then I'm going to spend 2 actions to get rid of this. All right. That's unfortunately all I can do right now. Yep, that is it. Okay. So there are no monsters yet. Go to upkeep phase. I'm just making sure. Yeah, none of that did anything. That didn't spawn anything. And this definitely didn't spawn anything yet. Nope. All right. So yeah, go straight to upkeep. Boom. Okay. And boom. Okay. Mythos, first doom. Draw our cards. Perform an infestation check. If it's an infested location, treats tablets as skulls instead. We're not in an infested location, so it's just going to be one of these. And unfortunately, it spreads, and we get to shuffle everything back in. All right. Good times. All right. That is it for Outbreak. Next. Attach to your location. Each spider enemy attached location gains retaliating alert. Investigators cannot move out of attached location. And it takes a fist or foot test of 3 to get out of it. All right. Then we do an infestation test again. Got another infestation token. It stays out, thankfully. Yeah, this is generally what my luck is with the infestation bag, by the way. I just get all the cultists. There's not much I can do about it. Okay. So with that, I need to draw a card. And unfortunately, I have to pick this card. So it goes out. And we'll deal with that in a second. All right. So we need to deal with this thing like yesterday. So how can I deal with it? I'm going to go ahead and try to clear out the webs. I'm going to use an agility test. I will go ahead and use Drawing Thin to draw a card. And so it's going to be 4 to 5. So 4 to 5. We fail it. I'll go ahead and do a Live and Learn, and I'll activate Stella Clark's ability. So now we are 6 to 5. Reveal another one. I do pass barely. So that was 6 to 5. I shouldn't have used the Drawing Thin, to be honest. That was definitely super risky. But I did succeed, so we do get rid of it. And I have all my actions still because of Stella Clark's ability. So with that, let's go ahead and just move down. Stairwell. Through an unmarked door in the hall behind the experimental therapy ward, a dark staircase leads deeper into the hospital. Okay. After you enter the stairwell from a non-basement location, after you enter stairwell from a non-basement location, move to the basement location, then test 4. Okay, after you enter stairwell from a non-basement location. So this is a non-basement location. Oh, and then move to. Okay, I see what it is. Sorry, it's worded weird. So as a reaction, we could immediately move, and then test 4, and if we fail, we take damage. So that's the deal. So I'm okay with. Oh yeah, 1 second. I need to check something. Okay, signature cards do not have a level, so they're not level 0, so I can't use Scrounger's supplies with it. Okay, so do I want to make the check? I kind of do. Let's go ahead and move to a new location. Basement door. One of the several unmarked wooden doors in the cold, musty basement of St. Mary's Hospital. As an action... Okay, so we found the room that Randolph Carter is in. 4 Shroud, 0 clues, St. Mary's basement. As an action, parlay test will 2. If you succeed, then test book 2. If you succeed, investigators at this location may spend 2 clues as a group to give control of the set-aside Randolph Carter asset to an investigator at this location. The patient you've been looking for sits on a bed in the middle of this dark room. You ask him about his condition, but he merely replies, "Why should I help you? You'd never believe me anyway." Okay, and then I need to do a 4 to 4 test, which I'm okay with doing. So 4 to 4. I do fail that by -1, so I do take 2 damage. Boop. Okay, so there you go. I still have 2 actions remaining. Let's go ahead and spend an action to discard Drawing Thin to get rid of this. And I'm going to spend an action to go ahead and move back to here, because I don't have clues. All right, as for over here, I could... So I need 2 clues, and I need to make sure I pass what's coming. That's the gist of it. How do I want to do this? I'm trying to see. Yeah, it's going to be... I would have to commit a decent number of cards. Especially if I want to keep Whispers Deep and just get rid of it. So I could shortcut down to there, and then commit enough cards to be at least 4 to 3. It's risky. I mean, one thing's for certain, I do want Obscure Studies for the upcoming will and book test, because we're going to need both. So let's go ahead and shortcut. And we're going to go ahead and move down to here, because we don't want to be in an infested location anyway. And then I could do the reaction. I'm not going to do it. Also, if the stairwell becomes infested, you have to make another infestation test, which I tend to forget. All right, so next I'm going to go ahead and... Could I... Let's see. Investigate, move this. Okay, so yeah, I will go ahead and investigate this location. I'm going to go ahead and activate Obscure Studies. So return the card beneath Amanda Shot to your hand and place this instead. So now I have 5s. So I'm 5 to 3. I do pass. I get a clue here. And then I'm going to move to this location, and then I'm going to make that test, the parlay test. So right now I am 5 to 2. I'm going to go ahead and commit Whispers of the Deep. So I'm now... Actually, that Cultist is a problem. Yeah, I'm going to commit a Whispers of the Deep and Extensive Research. So that's going to be 6 to 2. Yeah, 6 to 2. All right, we passed that check. And then I need to pass a... now it's going to be a 5 to 2. We pass. It becomes a 1,000,000 to 2, because I get double the icons here. All right. Then I could... Investigator of this location may spend the following clues to put Randolph Carter asset to an investigator at this location. Okay, so I'm going to spend 2 clues to take control of Randolph Carter. He does take a slot though, but that's okay. So Randolph Carter, Change to the Waking World. +1 will, +1 book. After a Elder thing is revealed, you can exhaust Randolph Carter and draw 2 cards. Alright, so we get control of him. Yeah. Let's make sure this is all worded correctly. As a group, give control of the set-aside Randolph Carter's asset to an investigator at this location. So unfortunately, my choices are going to only be you here. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of Laboratory Assistant and take you. All right. Once we take control of Randolph Carter, we do advance. All right. Carter's statement. After some persuading, you manage to convince the blonde-haired man to listen to your story. Once you explain to him what has happened to your companions, he shakes his head in solemn understanding. I knew this Virgil fellow would cause trouble. If only I had convinced him not to write that story. You ask him what he means, and he lets out a long sigh before elaborating. It's all true, all of it. The Dreamlands is real, and I believe that something is causing it to merge with the waking world. That's where all of this is coming from, he explains, motioning to the spiderwebs in the corners of the room. With your help, I may be able to temporarily stop the infestation from spreading. Then we can investigate this matter further. He rises from his cot and shakes your hand. My name is Randolph, by the way, Randolph Carter. Shuffle the encounter discard into the encounter deck. Okay. And then here, that's the last step, containing the outbreak. With the aid of Randolph Carter, you must attempt to close the rifts that have opened between the Dreamlands and the waking world. Each infested location gains action test X will to attempt to seal a rift. X is this location's shroud. Investigators at this location may spend 2 clues as a group to automatically succeed. If you succeed, replace the damage token on this location with a horror token. For the remainder of the game, this location cannot become infested. If there are no infested locations in play, advance. All right. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to stop it right now. Anyway, we got +1 will, +1 book. Okay. So with that, enemy phase. No enemies. Go to upkeep. All right, here we go. Perception. A Derringer. Mythos, we're now 2 of 6. Attached to a non-permanent, non-weakness asset you control with the highest printed cost. Non-permanent, non-weakness. Or non-weakness asset with the highest printed cost. Okay, well technically this goes on Randolph Carter then. So his printed text is treated as blank, so no more buff. Okay. Oh, let's see. You went down. Okay, yeah, I didn't reveal any new locations with Mouse Mask, so nothing new there. Swarm of spiders. Swarming 2. 1, 2. All right. 1 fight. X evade. Creature spider, 1 health. Swarming 2. X equals the number of swarm of spider enemies at this location, including the swarm cards. So in this case, it's right now 3 evade. It hits for 1 damage. And then infestation. Search the encounter deck and discard pile for a spider enemy and spawn it in an infested location nearest to any investigator. Let's pick probably not that thing. I'm just seeing if there's anything with victory. Doesn't look like it. Okay. So we'll just take a swarm of spiders. And it gets spawned into an infested location. It's actually going to be from the lead investigator because it's not clear. Okay. Luckily, these things don't have a hunter or anything. All right. That was the infestation check, so we'll go ahead and go to investigation phase. Draw a card, discard you. All right, so we got some work we need to do. I'm going to go ahead and just put Prophecy out. Which is going to give me, right now there's 2 Doom in play, so it's just going to be +1. So we have 3s and everything. I mean, it's either that or I just draw a card. Yeah, you know what? We'll just do it that way. We'll get Perception. And you know what? No, we'll do Prophecy. Prophecy's fine. Okay. I'm going to start with Stella first, because she's got some work to do. So currently I can have 4 fight against 1, which is not terrible. And I can commit a long shot to it. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and attack. I'm going to go ahead to initiate this ability. I'm going to go ahead and take 1 horror so I can do +1 damage. And I'll go ahead and also commit a long shot to this. So currently we are 4-1. Good luck. That's what? -1? Yep, -1. I do pass. I do 3 damage. +1 from Meat Cleaver. +1 from Long Shot. So I kill the spider. Okay. And also, since I killed an enemy, I do heal 1 horror. Okay. And then next, I'm going to go ahead and move up and say hi to these spiders. And I'm going to shoot them. Or I'm going to hit them with the Meat Cleaver. I'll go ahead and take the +1. I'll take the 1 horror of damage. So we're 4-1 right now. And I'm going to commit a starting blow. So 5-1. We pass. So these two are going to, the swarm cards are going to die. So we're doing 2 damage. Sorry for that. Okay. This will become evaded. And that'll be it for her. Okay. Spiders are under control for now. These do count as creatures, I believe. Swarming. Each swarm card counts as a separate instance of that enemy for most purposes. Each swarm card has the same values and text as the Ho card. Yeah, so as long as I defeat a swarm card, I believe it counts. Okay. So yeah, I killed a swarm card, so I should heal 1 horror. Yeah, it defeats an enemy. Okay. Then I'm going to go with... let's go ahead and move twice. Which Amanda Sharp. We're going to go up to the experimental therapies ward. And I'm going to go ahead and see if I can purge this thing. So it is... this thing has 4 Shroud. I currently have 3 willpower, so it's 3-4 right now. So 3-4. I can go 7-4 easily enough. Let's do committing a curiosity. So that put me at 5-4. And Stella Clark will commit a card as well. She'll commit a neither rain nor snow. So I have +1 from Prophecy, +2 from Curiosity because I have 4 cards in my hand. So that's 5, and then this will be 8. So 8-4. Good luck. We pass. So yeah, if you had clues, you can do it as a group and auto succeed instead without making a check. So remove the damage token and replace it with a horror token. So this is important to do because for the remainder of the game, this location cannot be infested. So this location is essentially ensuring that the infestation cannot spread any further. So that's why I had to take that risk. All right, so with all that said and done, let's go ahead and call it here. So go to enemy phase. Enemy is currently exhausted. Upkeep. I'm going to have this enemy re-engage Stella Clark. All right, upkeep. Boop. All right, medical student. Upkeep. Granny Orn. Good to see you. Mythos. We're now 3 of 6. Glimpse of the... Did I shuffle? I did not shuffle this, did I, after I searched? I'm 100% certain I did not. Okay, I did shuffle. Okay. Put Glimpse of the Underworld into play in your threat area. When you would take damage and/or horror, take 1 additional damage and/or horror. As a reaction, you can discard Glimpse of Underworld to take 1 damage and 1 horror. Okay. In that case, yeah, that's it for that. Go to you. Dissonant Voices. Okay, so can't play assets or events. Good times. All right, and then Infestation check. Okay, so choose a location connects to an infested location. That location becomes infested. I can't spread the infestation, but these do get shuffled back in. So yeah, things are pretty under control now. All right. Starting the investigation phase. Draw a card. Discard a card. I'm going to put... I put this perception up. And I'm going to check something about threads of reality. Okay, so what I was looking up is whether or not someone else can activate it to get rid of it. And it seems like the answer is yes, but in the situation where I have Stella do it, she would be the one that has to discard an asset to do it. So that's the situation. Okay, in any case, what do we want to do first? So right now we have 4 book. I would love to have 5 book. So let's do that. I want to go ahead and spend an action to discard Mouse Mask to get rid of this. So that gets me back to this. So now I have 5 book. And then I'm going to spend an action to investigate this location. I will take a horror. So that makes it 5 to 2. We succeed. And it's only for that investigation. I get a clue. I draw a card. All right, put this into play. So if I fail a skill test, I'll take a horror. Got it. I'm going to go ahead and take another horror. Actually, sorry. For a lightning bolt, I need to discard this first and take a damage in horror so I don't take extra. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. There we go. And then I'm going to investigate again. I am going to take a horror on myself. So 5 to 2. I succeed. I get a clue and draw a card. Okay. Oh, after you draw cryptic writings during your turn, you can play it. So I'll play it and gain 2 resources. Like so. All right. That should take care of that. Let's go ahead and take care of Stella. So Stella is just going to attack this thing 4 to 1. Let's see. These things are only -3, so yeah, we'll go 4 to 1 with a meat cleaver. All right, we succeed. I'm not going to auto-fail it. I'll go ahead and kill this guy. And then for my last 2 actions, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this this weakness because I have nothing better to do. Yeah, we'll do it that way. All right, with that, no enemies. Go to upkeep. Okay, Dream Enhancing Serum. And a Derringer. Mythos. We're now to 4 of 6. Doom, 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 doom. Spider of Ling. When the enemy phase ends, add 1 swarm card to each swarm of spiders enemy in play. If there are no swarm of spiders enemies in play, search the encounter deck and discard pile for a swarm of spiders enemy and spawn it at the Spider of Ling's location with no swarm cards. All right. It is a monster spider, 3 fight, 3 agility, 4 health, hits for 1 and 1. Okay. Put Night Terrors in play in your threat area. After you fail a skill test, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Draw each weakness revealed this way and remove the other cards from the game. If Night Terrors is in your threat area, you can do a 4 will test. After this test ends, discard Night Terrors even if you fail. Okay, so it just forces you to do a test and possibly do some infestation. Also, this should have discarded. And, alright, infestation. Oh, good, we spawned another one. Alright, I'm going to search the discard and grab this guy. It's going to spawn here. Get some cards. Like so. Alright. Okay. Investigation phase. Discard this, draw this. I'm going to go ahead and put Prophecy out. Do I want to put Prophecy out? Yes, I'll put Prophecy out. So the issue right now is I kind of need other people to go deal with the infestations while I clear this out. So, yeah, I want to go ahead and pick Prophecy. I now have 5s and 4s and everything. All right. So, we need to deal with the Spider of Ling. Preferably without accidentally killing somebody. I'm going to spend 3 resources to get out my gun. I'm going to spend an action to shoot said gun. So currently I am 5 to 3. And we're going to go 6 to 3 with the Derringer, committing the other Derringer. So 6 to 3. We succeed, we do 2 damage to it. Alright, and then I'll take 1 more shot. 5 to 3. And we pass. He is dead. Risky, I know, but it was definitely worthwhile. Okay. That is it for Stella Clark. Amanda. I know you got some investigating to do, so let's get to work. So I'm going to go ahead and investigate this location. I am currently 5 to 4. I will take the horror. So it'll be 5 to 2. We succeed. Get a clue. I'm going to go ahead and shortcut down to the stairs. Then I'm going to move to another basement location. All right. Operating room, St. Mary's basement, 2 shroud, 2 clues. This room seems to have been abandoned mid-surgery. On the operating table lies a deceased patient completely covered in a thin sheet, save for the spindly spider-like legs emerging from the patient's body. Victory 2. For 2 actions, you can do a 4 intelligence test to heal for 3, but if you fail, you'll take a damage. All right, I need to do a foot 4 test. I'm currently 4 to 4. I'm going to commit a research librarian to make it 5 to 4. All right, that's -1 still, because there's no staff members, so I do pass, so I don't take any damage. I'm then going to go ahead and investigate this location twice. I'm currently 5 to 2. Good, and good. So right now we're just trying, since we have the infestation mostly under control, I'm just trying to get all the victory locations taken care of. All right. Enemies, thankfully these guys do not move. Upkeep. Okay, deduction. Upkeep. It's track shoes. Okay. Mythos. Fifth Doom. Rotting Remains. I am currently 5-3 because of Prophecy. Right now it's providing an additional while because there's 3 or more Doom in play. So 5-3. I will go ahead and commit a Dream Enhancing Serum to make it 6-3. We pass. Because right now the worst thing is the Elder Things are right now -3s because there's 3 infested locations. Foot Bad. Yeah, we'll just do Foot Bad for this one. Okay. Alright. Let's go ahead and investigation phase. Oh, sorry, infestation token first. Nothing happens. Okay, investigation phase. Draw first. Discard this. Alright. I'm gonna put deduction. This might not be my smartest decision, but I'm going to do it. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and have Amanda go first. She's going to go here. So I can't... Yeah, from non-basement. Yeah, so I can't use the run through with this one. Okay, what's this location? Alright, 5 Shroud. 1 clue, or 2 clues. You can test Brain 3. If you succeed, discover 1 clue at this location. If you fail, take 1 horror. After the last remaining clue is discovered at the morgue, make an infestation test. That doesn't look human. Okay, so we're now at this location. I am going to go ahead and do an investigation. So currently I am 4-5. I'm going to commit a Promise of Power and a Laboratory Assistant. So that's going to bring us up to... Let's see, I was 4-5. I'm now 8-5, 9-5. So I'm 9-5. We add 1 curse token. All right, 9-5. We pass. We get both clues here. We do need to do another infestation test, so let's go ahead and do that now. Okay, can't spread because we're blocking it. And yeah, we're good to go. All right. Okay, so far so good. We just need to grab this clue from the stairwell and then deal with the infestation. So, with that in mind, let's go ahead and spend 4 to get Granny Orn out. So I get +1 will. Tough old bird. And then she can actually make it so you fail tests by less or more, depending on what you want to have happen. Alright, next I'm going to go ahead and move. I'm going to go ahead and move up to the waiting room. This location has 3 shrouds, so this place is going to be a 3 will test to pass. So currently we have 4 willpower. So I'm going to go ahead and commit this neither rain nor snow and see what we can make happen. So it's going to be 7-3. We do pass. So this place has now been purged. Yeah, this is essentially, we've closed the rifts here. Okay, that is everybody. So enemy phase, this guy doesn't do anything. Upkeep. Dream Enhancing Serum. Resourceful. Mythos. It advances. Hell breaks loose. Suddenly chaos breaks out in the hospital. The sound of chittering and crashing emerges from the walls, and in the darkness you can barely make out the shapes of bizarre spider-like creatures scurrying in the distance. As you round a corner, you spot an orderly writhing on the polished floor, convulsing violently, as though possessed by an insidious force. You rush to his side and flip him onto his back and find that nearly all of his face is covered in thick webbing, and his eyes are wide and glazed over. He does not react as you shake him. Find each suspicious orderly enemy in play and replace it with a set-aside corrupted orderly enemy. It keeps its game state and all tokens and attachments. Search the encounter deck and discard pile for each copy of suspicious orderly and remove them from the game. Yeah, we didn't run into these guys. These guys are annoying. They're humanoid staff, so these are the staff members that make the skulls more difficult. They cannot be attacked. They cannot attack, be attacked, or be dealt damage. You can actually kill them, though, with instant death effects. They have Hunter, and while they're engaged with you, you can't investigate. These guys are just a pain. When I was trying to do my run with just Mystics, I didn't have anyone that could really evade that well. And so these guys were they were very persistent. We'll just put it that way. Anyway, so these get removed from the game. I'll just set them aside for now. And then shuffle the set-aside Agents of Atlachnacha encounter set, and each remaining set-aside corrupted orderly enemy, and the encounter discard pile back into the deck. So all of this. Hey, there's some victory enemies there. I don't think I've ever fought any of them, though. Alright, and then for the infestation deck, we do add a skull and cultist. Conveniently, we have two of those right here. Okay. Alright, shuffle. Alright, Hospital of Horrors. The entire building has become infested with a sinister evil. Something that does not follow the laws of nature. You need to find a way to either stop it or to escape before it consumes you too. At the end of the Mythos phase, make an infestation test. Each spider enemy at an infested location gets +1 fight and +1 evade. Okie dokie. So I just keep checking to make sure I'm not messing up something, but I wouldn't be surprised if I did. Okay, let's go ahead and get our Doom going on. Hey, Rotting Remains. That's always our first one we draw. Alright, I'm 3-3 right now. I'm going to go ahead and commit 2 cards and go 5-3. Alright, we pass barely. Attach this to my most expensive asset, which is Granny Orn. Okie dokie. And then we do an infestation test. Alright, can't spread it. But it gets all shuffled in. Alright. Yeah. Alright, good to go. Investigation phase. Draw a card. Discard card. I'm just going to go ahead and, let's see, how difficult is this location? 3. So this would be, what, 4? I'm going to put Promise of Power. This can get dangerous because I could definitely fill it with a lot of curses. Alright, as for over here, I'm going to go ahead and spend an action to discard my 18 Derringer to get rid of Threads of Reality. And then, is that really? Yeah, it's really any just non-permanent non-weakness, huh? You can just reality whatever you want. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and spend an action. I'm just seeing what I can get. Search. Yeah, there's not really much for me to... Actually, you know what? I'm going to spend an action to play Scrounge for Supplies. And I'm going to take... Actually, let's take this back. No ammo. I'm going to do this a different order. So I'm going to spend my first action doing Scrounge for Supplies. And I'm going to grab this Drawing Fen. I'm then going to play this Drawing Fen. I'm then going to go ahead and do this test here. I'm going to make it 6. I'm right now 3 to 6 right here. I'm going to go ahead and use this to draw a card. I do fail it, but it doesn't matter. It still gets discarded even if you fail. Okay, but I did fail the test, so I go ahead and use my ability to get an action back, and then I discard the Derringer to get rid of this. Okay, and that's all she's doing. As for Amanda, she's going to spend an action moving up. She's just going to spend an action to investigate this location. We'll add a curse token. So we are 7 to 3. Elder Thing is -2. Yeah, there's only 2 infested locations now, so -2. So I do pass. I am going to exhaust Randolph Carter to draw 2 cards. Grab this last clue. And then for my last action, I am going to go ahead and activate Dream Diary to put this Essence of Dreams into my hand. And have I actually gone through my entire deck? It looks like I have. Okay, so I'll be taking a horror in a second. That is crazy. Okay. Cool. That is it for that. So, enemy phase, nothing going on with that. Upkeep. So at this point, you're going to take 1 horror. So I'll go take 1 damage here. Or sorry, 1 horror there. And then for you, scrounge for supplies. Cool. All right. Mythos, 1 of 8. Swarming 2. Oh wait, these are engaged with me. So that's a problem. Okay. It's actually going to be kind of hard to get rid of them. All right, and then for you, Rotting Remains. We are 4 to 3. Okay, 4 to 3. Okay, I do pass by 1. That's -2 plus 1, so -1, so 3 to 3. So I do pass. We get rid of a curse, and yeah, good times. Okay, so spiders. Okay, first infestation test. Good to go. Investigation phase. Draw card. Discard card. And I'm going to go ahead and put Essence of Dream out. So right now they have what, +1 fight, +1 evade? Yep, +1 fight, +1 evade. Okie dokie. Should I just move down and try to help out there? Not much I can do about it. So yeah, right now these guys have yeah, they have 4 evade, and I currently have 4 evade. So if I commit both Eurekas, I could possibly get past this. So we'll commit both Eurekas and see if we can get past this. So 6 to 4. We just barely pass. So just to verify, enemies at this location, so there's 3 of them, so that's 3, and then +1 from this. I have 4 right now because I have Essence of Dream, and then 2 Eureka, so that's 6, and I had -2, so I do pass. I'm going to search top 3. I'll take the Mouse Mask. Shuffle. Search top 3. I'll take a Perception. Doesn't really matter. Okay. And then this gets exhausted. Then I'm going to spend an action to move. And I'll spend an action to play my Mouse Mask. Okay. Stella. This area up here has 3 Shroud. That area down there has 2 Shroud. So I'm going to spend an action to move up here. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can deal with this location. I'm going to go ahead and do Drawing Thin so I can gain 2 resources. Alright, so I'm increasing the difficulty by 2, so I'm right now 4 to 5. I fail it, and I'll use my ability to get my thing back here. Alright, then I'm going to go ahead and do it again. This time it's actually going to be 4 to 3, and I'm going to commit a Resourceful, so it's going to be Actually, that is not going to work. This provides everything except for will. All right, so we're just going to be 4-3. All right, we do pass. So this has now been purged. Okay. And then for the last action, I'm going to go ahead and get out the track shoes. Okay. That is, enemies are not going to do anything. They don't have any sort of hunter effect. Go to upkeep. Yeah. Amanda's deck has gotten a lot smaller since all the swarm cards are hers. Alright, upkeep. Hey, old key ring. Bit late for that. Mythos, 2 of 8. Frozen Fear. Okay. Will the Spider Mother. Test Will 3. If there's a spider enemy at your location, you cannot commit cards to this test. If you fail, you cannot attack or investigate until the end of the round. Okay. I am currently 4-3. I pass. Okay. Infestation test. Doesn't spread. There's no place it can spread to. There's only one location left that's infested. Alright. Investigation phase. Draw card. Discard card. There you go. Alright. So, I need to pick a card. Let's pick... I'll pick Curiosity. So right now applied, I currently have 5s in my will and intelligence. Okay. And then for Stella, let's get to work. So I'm going to go ahead and spend an action to move. I'm going to go ahead and activate Track Shoes, and I'm actually going to use Drawing Thin with it. So I'll draw a card. It's going to be 5-5 test. -1, I do fail, so I don't move an extra step, which is fine by me. I'm going to go ahead and spend this time to go ahead and scrounge for supplies. I want to get myself a Derringer back. You pry it out of the corpse's hands. It's not like he's going to complain. All right. And then I'm going to go ahead and get out another Drawing Thin. Okay. As for Amanda, I honestly don't have any plans for you. I'm going to spend an action to go ahead and get back my Essence of Dream. Spend an action to draw a card. And that's going to be it. I'll go ahead and just gain a resource. I don't want to draw too many cards. Sorry if I click that too much. I don't actually know what the number is, but it doesn't matter at this point. Alright. Enemy phase. Enemy ain't going to do anything. Go to upkeep. Oh, also I need to do a brain test. I'm currently 5-3. That's an Elder thing. It's right now -1, so I do pass. So I do get rid of this. Sure, I'll go ahead and draw 2 cards. See what we get. Alright. Yeah, there's currently no enemies that are going to be doing anything to us. This should have unexhausted a while ago. Upkeep. I need to discard. I'm going to discard the deductions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, there you go. Upkeep. Oh, Rabbit's Foot. Could have used you sooner too. Mythos. 3 of 8. Okay, prophecies are now worth 2. Alright. Corrupted Orderly. Hunter. When Corrupted Orderly is dealt 1 or more damage while on an infested location, cancel 1 of that damage. 2 fight, 2 evade, 2 health. Humanoid Staff Spider. And then over here, we have Glimpse of the Underworld. Got it. Okie dokie. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and have Stella go first. Out of silliness, I'm going to move down here. I'm going to go ahead and activate Track Shoes, and I'm going to use both Drawing Thins. So I'm currently 5-7 right now. Oh, also I need to pick this thing. I'm going to draw 2 cards. Alright, -1, so I definitely fail it, so I don't move any extra spaces. That's fine. I'll use my ability to, of course, get another action. I'm going to discard Glimpse of the Underworld and take 1 damage, and Granny Orn will take 1 horror. Then I'm going to go ahead and say hi to this guy. I'm going to attack, and I'll take 1 horror. So I'm going to be 4-2. Also, I'm just curious. Yeah, it does count as a survival card. All right, yeah, 4-2. I am going to go ahead and... No, I'm not going to do anything else. So 4-2, let's see what happens here. All right, that's actually a fail. Yeah, it's -3. Oops. All right. Well, you take 2 damage. Let's try that again. I'll take a horror and attack again. This time I'll commit a resourceful. So I'm now 5-2. And that kills it. All right, and then last action, I am going to go ahead and get out this rabbit's foot. Okay. All right. So I'm kind of just waiting for see if we can get any, what do you call it, victory. So I'm going to go ahead and spend an action to get out my Dream Enhancing Serum. And then I'm going to go ahead and just gain 2 resources. All right. Enemy phase, nothing. Upkeep. I'll discard the Extensive Research. Upkeep. Resourceful. Okay. Enemy Mythos, 4 of 8. Footbad. Dash your location. Okay. All right, infestation test. These get shuffled back in. All right, I think we should just go for gold now. Also, I did forget that spiders each have +1 fight. That does include these guys. But the attack the second attack was -1, so I definitely still hit. So that was my bad. They actually had 3 fight and 3 evade. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and start with, first investigation phase. Draw, discard. I'll put the Essence of Dream out. All right. Then, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that's correct. Actually, I don't think I needed to discard earlier. That's my bad. I think I should still have an Extensive Research in hand. Okay. In any case, I'm going to go ahead and go with Stella. And we'll see if we can make some stuff happen. So first she's going to move. I am going to go ahead and do Track Shoes and Drawing Thens. And I'm going to commit a Take Heart. So I am currently 5-7. I failed it. So first of all, I'll go ahead and draw cards, 1 and 2, and then the Take Heart is I draw 2 cards and gain 2 resources because I failed. And then I'll activate her ability to get an action back. Since I didn't succeed on the movement with the Track Shoes, these guys will engage me. And I'll say hi to them. Alright, so I'm going to punch these guys with my Meat Cleaver. Oh, also I should have healed for 1 horror with the Meat Cleaver because I did kill with it. Alright. Oh, also, I'll do Rabbit's Foot. Since I failed a skill test, they claim it would bring me good luck. I wouldn't say that's true, but now I feel like it would be even worse luck to get rid of it. And I'm going to go ahead and draw a card with that. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and attack these guys with Meat Cleaver. I'll take 1 horror to do an extra damage. So currently I am 4-2. I'm going to go ahead and commit a Resourceful. So that'll bring me up to 5-2. Actually, I don't need to. 4-2 is enough. Yep, 4-2-2 is enough. Okay, so attack. And never mind, it's actually not enough. Okay, we lose this. We did fail the check, which is fine. I'm going to go ahead and attack again. I'll take one horror with the meat cleaver. Here goes nothing. So yeah, 4-2. There's no more curse tokens. Okay, cool. I'm going to attack one more time. I'll take a horror. Can we make this not do so bad? Let me check one thing. I'll just see if there's any restrictions. Anyway, I'm 4-2 again. Let's try this again. One last time. Okay, we passed. We're going to kill 2 of these guys, which these guys are going to go in the deck. Oh, that didn't work at all. We'll do it like that. Let's try this again, and then do this. Oh boy, that broke everything. Can we, fix that? Yeah, that broke something. 1 second. Why won't this go back into decks? All right, give me a second. Okay, I went and made a new copy of the card and just slid it under the deck. Okay, so that's all been taken care of. So the thing I was trying to see is since each swarming card counts as its own enemy, like I just killed 2 of them. So don't I get like 2 horror, 2 horror heal, 2 sanity back? Yeah, each swarm card is as a separate instance of the enemy for most purposes, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so I just killed 2 of them. So I should get back 2 horror. That's kind of neat for meat cleaver. It's not, I wouldn't say it's overpowered or anything, because it's honestly pretty limited. But yeah, so we killed 2 of the swarms. We didn't even kill the last one, unfortunately, but that's okay. That's all of our actions, unfortunately, but that's fine. Oh, I forgot I didn't get rid of the sickening webs. All right, I'm going to rewind and fix issues. So first, okay, so this is what's going to happen. We're just going to rewind. That's the easiest way to handle this. So put this back in our hand. That was rabbit's foot. These 2, these 2, these 2. So I believe that's everything. I should have resourceful. 3. Yeah, give me 1 second. Okay, so I rewound completely back to where I was. Yeah, I still have the horror lost. Okay, so I have to get rid of the sickening webs first. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I know I had some auto fails, so just to keep it legit, we're just going to do it in order. So the first check was the track shoes originally. It was a skull, which is -1. So it would have been 5-3, so it would have been 4-3, so we do pass. I'm just going to delete it. So this goes away. That was our first action. Second action, we would have moved over here and did track shoes and did all this stuff. So 1, and of course commit the take card. 2, 3, 4, 5, gain 2. And that would have been the auto fail in that case. So a little less frustrating. Then use my ability to, of course, get another action. These guys will re-engage. I'll take a horror, and then of course that'll be the other auto fail. And then I'll make one more attack, which would have been the skull. And I would have healed, taken a horror there, and then healed 2 from killing these 2 swarm cards. And for the sake of simplicity, we're just going to do like this. Boop, and boop, and boop. Oh, wait, we took an action, didn't we? We had to take an action to move, didn't we? Yeah, we did this. We moved. So let's try this again. Making sure I did this right. So, got rid of the webs. I moved. I failed it. I got this. I attacked, and I attacked. Okay, yeah, this actually worked out because originally we did 3 attacks because we had the 2 auto fails lined up like that. Okay. There we go. So that is all legit now. And I have a million cards in my hand. Okay. Next, I'm going to have Amanda Sharp move in. Yeah, apologies for making that mistake. It's honestly, we have pretty much good control over everything, so it's not the end of the world, but still, getting rid of this would have been better. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and move. I'm going to go ahead and attempt to punch said spider. So I'm right now 4-2. All right, I do pass because it's only -1. Bye-bye spiders. And just because I can, I'll draw 2 cards because it was a squid. Or not a squid, but the elder thing. And just out of curiosity, well, I'll look after. I'm going to go ahead and just do the test now, and I'm just going to use 2 clues to auto-pass it. And that will get rid of the last of the infestation. So with that, we will go ahead and advance. But out of curiosity, I was just going to see what this is. Okay, yeah, we are nowhere near to getting any of the victory enemies. Yeah, they were just... yeah, I would have ran out of doom. I would have doomed out before that happened. Actually, there's a chance we could have spawned them. The only way we would have spawned them is if we had drawn infestations through the skull icon. But I'm not going to sit here and just farm. That's just that's not fun. Let's put it that way. So no infested locations remaining. Let's go ahead and take a look. The next step, with the final rifts sealed, the infestation ceases and the hospital returns to normal. Good work, Randolph says. Still, I believe this matter warrants further investigation. We do not know what caused this to happen. You remind him that there is also the matter of your companions who still refuse to wake. Yes, of course, that too. Come, let us go somewhere private where we can discuss what our next step should be. Sadly, I do not believe there is anything more we can do to aid your friends here. You don't know if Randolph means here as in the hospital or here as in the waking world, but either way, it does not bode well for your companions. Check the campaign log. If Dr. Maris-Warren joined the investigation and was in play when this scenario ended, do Resolution 1. If not in play after joining, it will be Resolution 2. And if you had her stick with the patients, it's Resolution 3. So Resolution 3. Okay, Resolution 3. Before you depart the hospital, you go back to the emergency ward to check on Dr. Maris-Warren. The door to the room where your companions are staying is sealed shut, so you knock on the door and ask if she is there. On the other side, you hear furniture being shifted aside and knocked over. An exhausted Shivani Mariswaran cracks open the door and peers at you with bloodshot eyes. Oh, thank goodness it's you. She lets you in and collapses onto a nearby chair. Those things try to get into the room. I had to barricade myself inside to stop them. You inform her that the danger has passed and thank her for watching over your friends. I'll continue to keep an eye on them, she says. Just please tell me that there are no more spiders out there, or I'm taking the first train out of this town. As you leave, you swear to your sleeping friends that you'll get to the bottom of this and save them. In the captain campaign log, record Dr. Maris-Warren is alive. Okay. Record Randolph escaped the hospital with the investigators. And one investigator can choose to have Randolph Carter. Honestly, I'm going to go ahead and just give her, I'm going to give him to Stella. I don't actually want any extra cards like him in Amanda's deck. All right, and does not count towards deck size. Resolution 5. Boop. Okay, Resolution 5. You depart from the hospital with the blonde-haired man in tow. He introduces himself more fully. The man whose name is Randolph Carter tells you that he is a dreamer, like Virgil Gray and your friends. One with the ability to traverse the divide between the waking world and in a parallel dimension that was created by, is sustained by, and dwells within the dreams of all living organisms on Earth, a realm he calls the Dreamlands. It is a place of both dreams and nightmares, he explains, and I'm afraid your friends are trapped there as we speak. You ask if there is anything you can do to aid them. Randolph ponders this for a moment, then replies, normally dreamers can return to the real world simply by willing themselves awake, but for some reason your friends are unable to do so. If you truly wish to help them, you too must enter the Dreamlands and find them. But forcing your way into the Dreamlands is not easy. Such paths are usually accessible only to experienced dreamers and only in sleep. Still, there are some places where the Dreamlands touch the waking world, and in those places, with the right tools, you may enter the Dreamlands in your physical body. I know of such a place not far from here. However, before Randolph is able to finish his sentence, he is interrupted by a mysterious voice. Each investigator earns experience victory X. So we're at 10? Cool. So 10 it is. Like so. All right. And then remove the infestation bag from the game. Got it. And then you go straight into the interlude. Okay. So let's go ahead and spend our experience, and we'll go from there. All right, 10 experience points. So I'm going to go ahead and replace one of my medical students with a mouse mask with 2 Unrelentings. These are practice cards, so Amanda can pick them up. I've never actually played with this card before, but it commits for 1 wild, and when you commit it, you can search the Chaos bag for up to 3 non-auto-fail tokens of your choice and seal them. If all 3 tokens happen to be +1/0s, blesses, or Elder Sign tokens, you draw 2 cards, and then you release all the tokens after this test ends. So if you were to put this, I don't know, underneath Amanda, at the start of her turn, at the start of the investigation phase, you can potentially use this to just draw 6 cards. So pretty powerful. You can also use it as just getting rid of all the bad tokens and passing checks that you would otherwise find too risky. So that's 1 experience each, so that's 2. And then I'm replacing my other medical student and my prophecy with 2 cryptic researches. Cryptic researches are 4 experience each, so that's 8 in total. It's a 0-cost event, commits for nothing, and you fast play only during your turn. You choose an investigator at your location, and that investigator draws 3 cards. So the idea here with Amanda is just get as many cards in your hand as possible, so you have no shortage of things to commit. All right, so that is all of her taken care of. So that should give her 33 cards. Yep, 33 cards. So at this point, she shouldn't have any issues keeping her hand size full, which will be good. All right, for Stella, I'm upgrading both Derringers. So upgraded Derringers end up getting cheaper. Well, first they get a agility icon for committing, which you're not going to be doing it for. But it gets cheaper, more ammo, and if you do fail, not only do you get an ammo back, but the next time you fire the gun at this round, you'll get +1 fight. So this goes great with Stella, because essentially if she does fail, she gets her bullet back, her action back, and her next shot will be at +3 rather than +2. So pretty handy there. Really, it's really the extra ammo and the cost reduction is the big thing for this. I'm replacing both my stunning blows with a brute force, which of course provides 3 fight icons if you do this during a basic fight action. So you can't commit it with the Derringer, but if you also succeed by 2 or more, you can deal +2 damage, which is pretty helpful. Also, I don't really need the evasion that badly to carry around stunning blows, so I'm kind of okay with replacing those. And then I'm going to go ahead and replace these winging its. I was actually kind of impressed with in the early game where Stella was actually getting clues early on, but I don't really need the winging its for that. I have other means. So I'm replacing both wing units with gumptions, which each also cost 1 experience. Same thing as the brute force. You can only commit 1 per test, but you reduce the difficulty by 2, and can be committed to any test. So very helpful. And then the last thing is I'm going to go ahead and upgrade one of the Look What I Founds into level 2, which can commit for a foot icon, which isn't that useful. But what it can do is the biggest thing about Look What I Found is you have to fail by a certain amount, which is 2 or less. But the upgraded version, you can fail by 3 or less, which is a much better. It pretty much guarantees you'll be able to use this. And not only do you get 2 clues, but you get 2 clues either from your location or a connecting location. So with this, you can essentially snatch clues from other locations, which I think is pretty helpful. So my intention is to gradually upgrade these Look What I Founds to kind of provide some additional cluing on her side, because that definitely helped out in the early game. Because we kind of zoomed through the first, we pretty much zoomed through the acts. That gave us a lot of spare time to kind of get all the victory we could possibly get. Speaking of, just out of curiosity, one of the cards we would have drawn towards the end would have been an Outbreak, which I think technically, actually, I think it's only 3 cards. But in any case, I drew some infestation tokens just to see what we would get, and no, we would not have spawned any of the spiders. So we pretty much got all the victory we could have possibly gotten. Anyway, so with all that, we'll go ahead and put all this together. And I'll let her carry around Randolph Carter for now. More than likely, I'm probably just going to use this for committing. But honestly, the +1 book is not that bad either. Anyway, so yeah, that was my first time playing as Stella. Honestly, better than I expected. I know she's been known as a pretty powerful character. Any character that can turn failure, which is pretty common in this game, to an advantage is certainly very, very good in this type of system. And Amanda Sharp, of course, did pretty well. The biggest danger with Amanda Sharp is you eventually run out of things to put underneath her, even when you're drawing that extra card. And having 2s as your base stat can definitely be kind of difficult to get around. One thing you might have noticed is I did not upgrade my Dream Diary yet. That unfortunately is going to come later. For the most part, my upgrade path is pretty similar to what the Caught Red-Handed deck is doing. It's just I'm replacing different cards because I didn't have those same cards on my deck. But eventually I will upgrade it and take advantage of the Essence of Dream. So yeah. With that, we'll go ahead and... Oh, actually, we're not going to call it here. We got the interlude to do. So, let's see. If you played both Dream Quest and Web of Dreams as an interconnected campaign, or if you're playing Dream Quest by itself, proceed to Black Cat 1. Okay, Black Cat 1. Alright, following Scenario 1A, the Dreamers travel beyond the Enchanted Woods. As you travel out of the Enchanted Woods, you pass through the rolling green meadows under a bright blue cloudless sky. You speak with the blonde-haired man, who introduces himself as Randolph Carter. For several hours along your journey south, you pass through a town Randolph calls near, and over a stone bridge spanning a wide river. Since the man seems friendly and knowledgeable about both your world and this one, you explain to him your situation. That you had followed the writings of a man named Virgil Gray to reach this strange land in order to see for yourself the truth of this story. There is a place in Ulthar where you may yet meet this man for yourself, Randolph responds. When we reach Ulthar, I will show you. The town of Ulthar is not quite what you had imagined. The border of the town is marked by a cobblestone road, separating its quaint cottages from the rolling green meadows of beyond. Inside the town, narrow cobble streets are filled almost to capacity with cats of all kinds and colors, which part as you approach. Old peaked roofs and overhanging upper stories arch over the hilly streets. The entire village seems a haphazard cluster of homes and old-fashioned businesses. As you reach the town square near the center of the village, Randolph stops and addresses you with a youthful smile. "Welcome to Ulthar," he proclaims. "As I mentioned before, you are quite safe here. There's but one paramount law to keep in mind as you traverse this place. In the town of Ulthar, no one may kill a cat. Given how utterly packed the streets are with cats, you wonder aloud if this is indeed a town run by cats." "Not quite," Randolph replies, pondering your words. "Though I suppose one might call it the center of cat society here in the Dreamlands. The reason for that law's existence is a story for another time. First, come. I have a feeling we'll meet this Virgil fellow you speak of at Einar's." Randolph leads you through the town square, which is surrounded by buildings adorned with cat motifs in the form of statues, signs, and even stained glass windows. You eventually arrive at one such building bearing a sign that reads Einar's Place. Inside is a medieval-style tavern filled with long wooden tables. You spot several patrons and 3 times as many cats. One such patron at the wooden counter feeds one of the cats small strips of dried meat. He is a handsome man in his early 30s with short, dark hair, a strong jaw, and sharp cheekbones. You recognize him instantly as the writer Virgil Gray. In the back of your mind, you wonder if this chance meeting is merely an act of fortune or something preordained for good or for ill. Regardless, you approach the man and introduce yourself, along with Randolph. Virgil shakes your hand and Randolph's with a joyful smile. Well met, fellow dreamers, the writer says, a hint of boyish excitement in his voice. It is wonderful to meet more fellow believers. I had become so sick and tired of reading about my supposed illness in the papers. You nod your head in agreement and inform Virgil that you intend to find some proof of this discovery to bring back to the waking world. Don't you think I tried that? He replies stymied. Sadly, it is impossible for one who is asleep to bring anything from this realm into the real world. This is all imagination, you see, ideas, concepts, fantasies. You cannot hold a thought in your hands, can you? Randolph interjects. There is a place within the Dreamlands that may hold the proof you seek. I have seen it in my dreams. I visited there 3 times, each time just a fleeting moment before I was snatched away by the rising sun. But try as I might, I cannot find the way again. I have spent many nights searching. Oh, Virgil asks, intrigued. What is this place? It is a marvelous city, he describes, his eyes aglow with wonder, golden and lovely like nothing I have seen before or since. A city beyond the peaks of the unknown mountain Kadath, where no one has ever set foot before. There, veiled within the clouds and crowned by stars, lies the onyx castle of the Great Ones. Virgil idly pets the cat on the countertop next to him as he is absorbed by Randolph's tale. It is a slender creature with lustrous black fur, dark as the void of space itself. Then we must find this place. Even if it does not have the proof we seek, it sounds like the adventure of a lifetime, enough to fill 100 pages or more. You tell Virgil and Randolph that before you commit to such an adventure, you must return to the waking world and tell your companions about your experiences. Just then, another voice, cryptic and quiet, chimes. Oh, you can't wake up. The eye is upon you now. You and others spin your heads around, searching for the source of the voice. The barkeeper? Another patron? Then Virgil's black cat stretches and sits up, its piercing yellow eyes reflecting the light of the sun through the window outside. I have waited a long time for you to see Kadath, it says. You can talk, Virgil says, nearly toppling over his stool as he jumps in surprise. I'm a cat, you dolt. Of course I can talk, the black cat replies, licking its paw out of boredom. You have met 1,000 cats from Ulthar, and now you are surprised? But I thought... Virgil wipes his brow with his palm. Never mind him, the black cat says, addressing you directly. I assure you, you cannot cross back into the waking world until you find Kadath. It is your only way out. In the meantime, I will return and tell your companions about the quest ahead. It hops off of the countertop and walks confidently toward the exit, though I imagine your task will be even more arduous. All right, proceed to Black Cat 2. What shall I tell your friends in the waking world? The lead investigator must decide. So this is for the group from that are currently dreaming. Tell your companions of your quest, your plight, and your peril. The Black Cat will return to you once this message is delivered. This may put undue burden on your companions. In the campaign log, you can just do that. All right, the other option is you tell your companions about your new friends, about the Dreamlands. There's also tell your companions that they are in danger and that you are safe. The Black Cat will stay with them once this message is delivered. This might make your quest a little more difficult. And then you don't trust this creature one bit. You threaten the Black Cat, warning it not to approach your friends under any circumstances. The Black Cat yawns. Yeah, so that's the other option. So I'm going to go ahead and have the cat warn the other team. So warn the waking people. I have a feeling that I'm going to have more trouble with Amanda and Stella in the long run, but I'm not entirely certain. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pick the third option. So in the campaign log for Dream Quest, record that the Black Cat warned the others. Okay. And then we proceed to Black Cat 3. Alright, you must be their friends, the enigmatic voice says from above. To your surprise, the quiet voice belongs not to a person, but to a black cat that lounges lazily across a tree branch, hanging over the path outside the hospital. Oh, pick your jaws up off the ground and listen. The cat rises and leaps onto the top of a nearby fence, walking along it with the kind of grace only cats possess. It is one of the cats of Earth's dreamlands, Randolph proclaims, his voice tinged with merriment, like he was meeting an old friend for the first time in ages. How long has it been? I have spoken with one of your kind. The cat's piercing yellow eyes glare at Randolph for a moment before it returns its gaze to you. Sure. In any event, I bear a message from your dreaming friends. Okay. So we went with Black Cat warns the others. Okay. Your friends told me to tell you that they're fine. In fact, they told me to warn you that you're the ones in real danger. I believe them if I were you. There's a grand conspiracy at work here, and you're the only ones who can stop it. The best thing you can do is forge onward, but for both your sakes. Don't worry, I'll stick around for a while. Someone's got to keep you alive. All right, for Web of Dreams, record the Black Cat is at your side, and then add 1 tablet token to the Chaos bag for both campaigns. So, +1 tablet. And then over here, +1 tablet. And what was it? Sorry. It was Black Cat is at your side. Okay. Also, while I'm here, I'll go ahead and take care of this experience. Okay. All right. And then that is it for that. Once those have been done, we now can either do scenario 2A, Search of Kadath, or scenario 2B. So we'll be doing 2A next. I have done 2A before, and I successfully picked all the wrong decisions when I was doing it originally, so that definitely upset me quite a bit. But I'm hoping with a better team, it'll go a little bit smoother. So far, the tempo for these groups have been a lot better compared to my previous ones. In any case, I'm going to go ahead and call it here. Sorry for the longer videos. It's always going to be a bit longer, unfortunately. So, yeah, we'll be returning to Rita and Mandy next time, and we'll be searching for Kadath. So, till then, I'm the Depressed Eeyore. This was Arkham Horror the Card Game, Dream Eaters, and I'll see you guys next time.